Number 13. From England in the yellow jersey, Ruben Ash. From the United States, the young Cole Hushman in red. Diego Candias from Mexico in white. And here we go, Pedro Jose Fernandez will be in the blue. I'm Bo Hodge along with Mike Latronic. And Tron, welcome back to the webcast booth. And I'm always curious what you do during your breaks, because you always do many different things when you're out and about.
Oh, well, you see where the buoy is?
Yeah.
I ran down the beach. There's a little corner right-hander
No
in the shore break.
way.
Yeah, no way. No. I was catching up on emails and checking in with the ISA marketing media staff, I should say, not marketing staff.
Well, there we go. There's Team Turkey. There's Team Russia huddling up, and they're getting ready for some of this heat action that's getting in. Again, our heat has not started. They're still correcting some scores. We had a priority interference in the last heat. We had some late scores come in. Ben Penny did get a 5-point ride at the end, and he does take first place away from Hakim Girard from Norway. So there was a bit of a change there, and they wanted to make sure that is. Jackson Abando had that priority interference, still takes third place, and from Chinese Taipei, Yen Sin Lin. And there we go. There's Ben Penny.
And there's the Aussie surfing machine, I call these guys. These guys just always seem to come up with the goods. Can never, ever underestimate the Australian surfing machine.
Well, come next year, in 2018, I would not be surprised if Australia starts sending some of their WCT surfers like France, like Brazil.
Yeah, that would be something.
Matt Wilkinson, Ace Buchan. I mean, they've got a whole array of catalog surfers in the CT in Australia and Brazil, always with the most surfers on the World Tour.
Yeah, I mean, too many names to even mention. It's just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Mick Fanning, Joel Parkinson, a couple of world champs.
Taj Burrow, well, he's not on the tour anymore, but he was for 20 years.
Yeah. It'll be exciting. I think next year's World Surfing Games, and we do not know where it's going to be. I mean, there's a host of countries that want to host the 2018 World Surfing Games as we get closer and closer to the Olympics. Here we go, surfer in blue. This is Pedro Jose Fernandez.
It's got a sizable wave. It's definitely these onshore waves have increased the intensity out there from this morning. We saw really small conditions. Here is Ruben Ash from England trying to get something going on that wave, but no luck on the inside.
So early times here in this heat number 13, round number 1. Let's watch a replay here, Mike. And up first, let's dissect Ruben Ash's wave.
Oh, well, he did a really cute little air rotation right there. So as we saw the very tail end of it, we thought, oh, that's a throwaway score, but he's actually going to put down a couple of points at least.
That could be in the average, maybe above average range, but while we wait for that score, let's go down beachside with Anne-Fleur, and take it away, Anne-Fleur.
I am with Joachim Guichard, coming from Norway. Where do you surf in Norway?
Actually, yeah, there's a lot of surf in Norway. You could go to the Lofoten Islands, it gets really good. And then Stavanger, where these girls come from, there's a lot of waves too. So yeah, there's a lot of it. You just gotta be like, yeah, have the good gear.
And there is a lot of surfers in Norway. How is that?
Right, they'll be in the main round number 2. Remember, in this round, no one's eliminated. They're still in the competition. It's just where they go. First and second go into main round number 2. Third and fourth are delegated into the repechage round, given one more chance. And due to the volume of surfers and nations that have conveyed here in Biarritz, France, we only have one round of repechage for the men and women. Let's give our attention to the young American, Cole Hushman.
Yeah, Cole's got himself a good right-hander. Clicks a nice snap off the top right there. Finds a little section on the inside, but you know, we're finding this quite often. These waves go from powerful to just dying out suddenly. So a couple good moves on the outside, and then really no relief on the inside. That was our surfer from Russia, Sergei Rashval. Not sure I pronounced that right, but gave it a shot.
I'll go with it.
So good score came down the line for our man in yellow, Bo.
Ruben Ash, a 6.5, and you like that rotation that he pulled off.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice, solid air. And here is our American. So he finds that one section, hits it, times it well, comes onto the inside, gets another little chink shot, I'll call that. And the wave just dies out. So not going to be a giant score, but definitely one of the bigger waves ridden this heat so far.
Well, for Cole Hushman, a 16-year-old from San Clemente, California, that's home base to quite a few surfers. Also, you know, good training grounds there, T Street and all the way up there to Lower Trestles. A 16-year-old from San Clemente. He's Surfing America U.S. champion and national champion in the NSSA, scoring a 4.5.
And he did get a 4.5 for his efforts. And here goes Ruben Ash from England, looking loose and throwing some spray off that little chip section, finding some energy pockets out there, really just looking like really nice flow on that wave, able to really take advantage of every single chunk of water.
Well, he's our heat leader at this stage with 14:50 remaining, opened up with that 6.5, so he's going to back it up and add to his score. Cole Hushman currently in second place with his opening score of a 4.5. Pedro Jose Fernandez Mateo, he's in third place. Our surfer from the Dominican Republic, he opened up with a wave score of a 3.5, and here he is up and riding.
Well, he's got himself a sizable left-hander. Unfortunately, it's closing out, so he's going to redirect back towards the right on his backhand. Not real happy with that wave, so he's going to reset the button, get back out there.
And let's talk about Sergey, Mike. Sergey opened up with a 2.17, so he's starting to build his house and getting here. And it's really exciting to have Russia as a surf team. I mean, their enthusiasm in the juniors, in the ISA juniors, in the ISA World Surf Games is really refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, they come down here, they go everywhere around the world at these events, and they just put on a big smile and show up to blow up. But, you know, the Russians are well known to be extremely competitive athletes. And so it's only a matter of time before we see, you know, their performances really rise as well.
And sometime too competitive, where they've been fined and penalized.
No comment.
Okay.
But we do have a comment on Ruben Ash's second wave. Again, a good score.
Another 6-point ride for the young Englishman. Ruben Ash, a 6.5, a 6.17. There's the 16-year-old from San Clemente, California. That's Cole Hushman. Opened up with a 4.5. He's sitting with first priority. He's very patient. He's kind of standing on this board, taking a look. Where are the waves coming? Where am I going to go? See Kalohi and Dino do that a lot. So, you know, he's from San Clemente, so he's probably a big Kalohi fan, brother fan.
Well, you know, in Southern California, they do get a lot of onshore wind flow. So maybe, you know, having that extra, you know, 8 inches or foot or whatever of what they can get up as high as they can to see, you know, maybe where the wind swell's coming. So Kalohan Dino certainly has carved out a good career for himself, and fine performances from that young man.
So taking a look at Cole, he has first priority, so he might take this wave, Mike, and there he goes.
Yeah, well, he's got himself another right-hander working off his backside, snap off the top, really springy too on that second one. A third one, so he's going to see, no, he's not going to take this one to the inside. Just 3 good maneuvers. That's going to improve his situation. I think that'll rise above the 4.5, taking another look at it. Starts off in the whitewash, but connects with the lip there, straight down into another slash off the top, and then the closeout section, throwing some spray. So I believe that'll climb above the 4.5.
Well, you can see the flags on the beach, very strong onshore. We came here this morning, it was a little bit side shore, light wind, and it was very small surf. And the women had to deal with ever-changing conditions. They had well overhead on day number 1, Saturday, and then offshore conditions on Sunday, smaller conditions Monday as we wrapped up. And why did we have the women up first? Well, the ISA is working with the WSL with the inclusion of World Championship Touring surfers, and the WCT stop number 5 coming up this week in Fiji. And in fact, Pauline, Bianca, and Joanne were on a plane at 1 o'clock this afternoon. They are in the air en route to Fiji right now. Wet boards, wet wetsuits, all packed up, all ready to go for stop number 5 on the World Championship Tour.
They have a little extra weight with them this time.
Yeah, they got some metal work that they're going to be showing off in Fiji, and it's going to be exciting for those ladies. And here we go, Cole Hushman, a 6.5, combo that with a 4.5. Does he go into the lead? Not quite, because Ruben Ash has a couple of 6-point rides. And let's watch Pedro Jose Fernandez Mateo up and riding.
Well, Pedro got himself a nice crack on that opening section. Again, one of the larger waves ridden this heat, so it seems like we're seeing that new energy come in here. I'm not sure if it's just the onshore wind flow that's bringing up the waves, or if that new little pulse and swell has been expected. But I guess here in the Atlantic, the onshore wind does create a swell, which is why sometimes these swells fade so quick.
Because they're generated so quickly and so fast.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're expected this swell to build up a little bit, but then by Thursday, possibly go completely flat, even smaller than what we've seen already.
So a replay last of Pedro right here. A couple of good carving turns, snaps it there. As this wave starts to fade in, he still sticks with it. His best ride so far, a 3.5, and also on the shoulder end was Ruben Ash on his third wave.
I'm not sure if he was able to dig the nose out of that. Looked like it was pearly just when we cut off screen, but really impressed with the style and flow of our surfer from England. In fact, probably one of the better surfers I've seen, the best surfing I've seen coming out of England thus far.
Well, we saw Ellie Turner make the quarterfinals in the women's portion of the World Surf Games here just yesterday. So, you know, a lot of good young talent coming out of England. And for many years over in Newquay and Torquay area in western, southern England, they have professional contests, the Boardmasters, for many years over there. Here we go, wave number 3 for Cole Hushman.
Oh, Cole winding off the bottom, off the top, this time on his forehand, doing a good job. 2 clicks and a whitewash attack there. So he's going to add to his scoreline a third wave. Not sure if it's going to surpass the 4.5. I think if I had to guess, well, here we'll take another look at it, make an educated decision, and boom. Pretty nice job of getting some, you know, velocity, some wrap on that second turn. So hard to say. It'll be close.
6.5 is his high wave, 4.5 is his low wave for Cole. He really wants to solidify second place. He's already in the double digits. Pedro Jose Fernandez Mateo currently in third. He needs a score of a 7.38 to catch Cole at this stage. He has a couple of 3-point rides, a 3.63 and a 3.5. 8 minutes remaining. Heat number 13. More athletes making their way. There on screen, there's Diego Salgado from Panama. And I loved your section of board stories when your group went down to Panama. That was some exciting surfing down there.
Well, yeah, I got to experience Panama following the ISA. In fact, our production company was doing some work for the Kind and Billabong, and sort of opened my eyes to that whole area. There's just so many fun waves, and the people are very cool, and the food's cheap. And well, we went down and did an adventure, so we got to experience free surfing down there, and great talent coming out of Panama. We'll see how Diego Salgado fares in his next heat. And here's a Sergey.
Kind of sloshing his way through that whitewater section on the inside. Sergey catching his third wave, opened up with a 2.17. He's backed it up with a 2.5. He's going back out for yet more waves. 6 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. Mike, you and I were down in Jaco, Costa Rica last August for the 2016 ISA World Surfing Games, and it was announced during that event that Olympics were included in the Tokyo Games, and now, almost a year later, it has really reaped the benefits here in Bay Ridge. With more surfers, more nations, and World Championship Tour surfers with that inclusion of the WSL and the ISA working together.
Yeah, no doubt the sound off and the prestige of being a part of the Olympics caught the attention of a lot of new countries. We got 7 new countries assigned in this event for the ISA, and it even brought some royalty to town.
Here we go, Cole Hushman taking a look. He scored a 4.03 in his last wave, not one of his top 2. And coming up in September, they're going to be deciding the locations of the next Olympics beyond 2020 of Tokyo. And right now, France, where we're at, is one of the host countries, and our native country, the United States, is also bidding for those Olympics in 2024. And we heard some inside information that the Olympic Committee may be announcing the sites of 2024 and 2028 coming up in September of this year. So France and the United States may split the Olympics after Tokyo, but who will get 2024 and who will get 2028 will be determined in September.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm sure they're holding their cards very close and, you know, saying, yeah, we take 2028, but we're not going to admit it until we don't get 2024.
I bet both countries direly want 2024.
There's a lot of 2020s going on here.
There's Team USA playing some football, playing maybe some rugby with the Aussies over there as they were watching Cole in the water. And, you know, it'll be the 40th anniversary of the 1984 games if Los Angeles gets it. I know Paris had the Olympics way early in the 1900s, so, you know, they have been off the grid for a while, and they want to resume back into the summer games. It's going to be exciting, and the best thing about both Paris and Los Angeles bidding for the Olympics, both France and the United States are pro surfing nations.
Yeah, they're both very surfing friendly. Surfing has permeated the culture, especially if it's in Southern California. And here in Biarritz, such a rich surf city, really steeped in culture, and they just really loved to embrace surfing. I remember the Biarritz Surf Festival is a big happening every year. And a lot of people from Hawaii ended up going to that, so that's why it's sort of ringing on the ticker for me.
Brian Kealana, former lifeguard captain out of Makaha, and his dad Buffalo used to make that trek every year with Rel's son, and they would bring halaus, they would bring their outrigger canoes, they would bring the whole Hawaiian culture of ocean sports. And when he came back, he said, the French really love us doing tandem surfing. They think that's just the cat's meow.
Speaking of bringing Hawaii culture, are we going to have the Aloha Beach Party? Is that part of this event this year?
We're going to have the Aloha Beach Party. We're also going to have a debut of a surf movie courtesy of the Olympic Channel TV.
Sounds pretty cool, and getting pretty cool is Pedro Fernandez. A couple of good turns. You can see his body language. He was disappointed that wave didn't hold anything else for him. But he needs a pretty big score, sizable call right there. A 7.38 is what Mr. Mateo needs to get into that all-important advancing position. But this is a non-elimination round, so he's got 3 minutes roughly to change his scope.
On the turnaround here, here's our heat leader, Ruben Ash. Let's watch him on this backhand here for the goofy footer. Making that slow attack, here he goes. Cole Hushman out the back, and let's pay attention to him.
Well, both these guys up on their backhand. The surfer in yellow from England not finding any success on that wave. Neither does Cole Hushman, USA. Both scrambling back out there. They do not want to relinquish their advancing positions.
Well, I think Team Japan and the Japanese Surfing Association is going to take a little bit of what the Biarritz Surf Festival is here in France and bring it to the Tokyo Games. And what we've been informed by Fernando Aguirre, the president of the ISA, is not only will surfing be in Chiba, Japan for the event, not just an event, but they're going to bring a festival of surfing. They're going to bring not only surfing, but celebrate longboarding, bodyboarding, body surfing, and SUP, and all the things that surrounds ocean sports of the surfing culture and surf music and surf art. It's going to be a surf meet and more at the Olympics 3 years from now.
Awesome. I wonder if they're going to bring a group of masters surfing over there.
And I wonder who would go.
I want to go. I love the Japanese food. But speaking of which, Cole Hushman looking for some lobsters under that wave. A little tap of the lip gone wrong. But time is of the essence now, Bo.
Well, it's great to see young Cole Hushman, the 16-year-old from San Clemente, California, a veteran in the NSSA. Those are the stepping stones in the United States in the junior series as they progress into the events like the ISA, the events of the World Surfing League. We've seen a lot of great champions. Tom Curran through the NSSA, Kelly Slater, pretty much all the United States amateurs came through the NSSA. Cole Hushman is not only an NSA national champion, but a Surfing America, which is the U.S. National Championships, and which is coming up next month in Southern California.
A big floater here from the Englishman, and followed up with a nice vertical attack on that closed section. Time is ticking down, so that's probably going to be his last hurrah. But you were saying Tom Curran, well, yeah, he had a lot of success in America, but he was also the 1980 junior champion right here in France.
Yeah, 37 years ago when the World Surfing Games, not only did they have men and women's open, but they had juniors, they had longboard, they had bodyboard, and the event got so big they had to fraction off those things. And as we watch a replay of Ash just going to town on this wave, and he's definitely going to see him in the next round along with this young American.
Yeah, great heat for the young American and our surfer from England.
Well, with the sound of the horn, that's going to round out heat number 13. There's the lineup for our next heat. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we return, you're going to be watching more men's open surfing live from Biarritz, France. This is the 2017 ISA World Surfing Games. Stay tuned.
Madame et Monsieur, bienvenue. Oh. This is the English webcast, Mike. So, good morning to wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Biarritz. Welcome back to the 2017 ISA World Surfing Games. We are live from the Grand Plage in the Basque Country of France. In the water is heat 14 is the heat now in the water.